A little video of the trunk showing the lower floors here. Everything's in good shape and wheel wells. Stuff's all been replaced in metal. Over the passenger side. It's not an awesome picture, but wells. Alright, we can take a quick look underneath the car up on the hoist. The car was built with a 95 Z28 front suspension, full K-member, coil-over shock assembly, upper lower A-arms, spindles, brakes. Still retains the electronic anti-lock braking system. All that works perfectly well. Little light on the dash tells you when it's working. Rack and pinion steering. The LT1 got an 1.25" front sway bar in it, urethane bushings. You can see the belt drive for the Pro Charger underneath here. It's got a jack shaft assembly, comes off the front, goes through. This guy runs the back side. Continuing on, you can get a glimpse of the A-arms. We get into the factory unibody of the Mustang. Put subframe connectors in it, front to back, and then a bolt together X-brace assembly that comes up underneath the front end. Kind of builds a K-brace into the transmission cross member and then goes back to the subframe connectors in the back. Floors were replaced in the car when it was built. It's all steel. There's no overlap junk underneath here. See a little bit of surface rust on some of the K-members and stuff around these K-bracing. Car's just been sitting for a little while. 2.5" dual exhaust. Retains the torque arm assembly. Goes up, hooks into the transmission like the stock 95 Z28 was lengthened in order to fit. Got drive shaft loops and a 3.5" Inland Empire aluminum drive shaft. The rear loop is a bolt-in assembly so that you can get the drive shaft out. Coney Classic adjustables on the back. 17 by 11 wheels in the back here. 17 by 9.5 in the front. E-brake. All the brake assemblies are again we're off the 4th gen. It's a 3-channel ABS system. And again, all that stuff is retained. Works just like it's supposed to. It is in good shape. Rear end is from the 4th gen as well. 342 gear with a posi unit in it. Rear suspension again uses a torque arm assembly, but we've custom built some brackets here that clamp onto the leaf spring to drive the car and suspend the car, but it pivots around that point, which allows the torque arm to handle all the torquing motion of the rear end. Makes for a very smooth ride and a zero wheel hop during spirited driving. New springs, of course, put in the car when it was built. Placed all the trunk floor stuff that was bad in the car when it was originally done. Rear frame rails in good shape. We double plated those frame rails back here just to make sure that with the stiffer shocks we didn't have any troubles with frame problems, and we've had none. Rear anti-sway bars out of a 4th gen again, and is attached there. This is a 1" Hotchkiss, I believe. I'm not positive on that. But that's a quick tour underneath the car. We're running 315 35 17s on the back. Pretty meaty tire. There's no rubbing, although it is quite close. It does not rub, nor has it rubbed. On the front of the car, 275 40 17s on the front on a 9.5" wheel. So that's a quick tour underneath the car. Thanks for your interest. Got any questions? Email me at john@bodenhammachine.com.